Check this out. All of this came with the new xTool all-in-one smart heat press kit. I'm going to share with you what comes in the box. Boxes, just wait for that. As well as setting everything up, showing you how it all works, and testing it out on a few projects. This xTool all-in-one smart heat press kit came complete with a 10 by 12 inch heat press, a mini press, and platformer stand, and a controller, and we'll talk about that. You're probably wondering, what's this all about? Well, stick around and I'll show you. Hi, I'm Felicia and welcome. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to know when we release new videos. Let me start off by saying that xTool did send this to me to review, but my opinions are honest and my own. There are some things I like about it and some things not so much. With all that said, let's dive into the unboxing. It was delivered in 3 separate boxes. Box 1 came with a mat, some HTV, as well as the mini press. Box 2 is a smart press, and Box 3 was the platform that you have to build. Assembly was pretty straightforward. All you had to do is screw in the legs to the back of the platform and then attach the arm part to the base and screw that in on the bottom. Inside the smart box, you're going to find a power cable, a USB cord, and some screws. We'll talk about what those are used for in a minute. We'll also find in here a controller, and we'll talk about the usage of that as well in a minute. And then below the styrofoam, you're going to find the heat press itself. And it is a 10 by 12 inch heat press. And below that, you'll find the instruction manual as well as a safety base. Now let's take a look at how that heat press attaches to the platform. First, you're going to pop off that little white piece in the center of the 10 by 12 heat press and attach the black piece that came with the platform with the 4 screws that are provided. The instructions for all this was super easy to follow. Attach the power cord to the back of the heating press and then slide that black clip into the platform. It was a little tricky to get it all the way in, but I was able to push through that and get it attached. And then the power cord clips to the back of the platform. You push the lever down in the front, and at the top is where you can adjust your pressure settings from low to high. When you're not using the heat press with the platform, you simply slide that forward and place it on the safety base. The heat press came with a transceiver, and you just simply place that into the back of the heat press, and it works in conjunction with the controller. You simply press that button on the back of the receiver for 3 seconds, then turn on the controller in the back, and hold that circle button down on the front for 3 seconds. This pairs the controller with the heat press. Now let's take a look and see what's inside the mini heat press box. Of course, there's an instruction manual, and then the safety base for the mini heat press, and then finally the mini heat press itself with the power cord attached to it. The mini press also works with a controller, and we'll take a look at that in a second. You can also power the mini press on with the button on the front, and it has 3 different levels, low, medium, and high. Now, if you want to pair this with the controller and get an exact temperature, simply take off that cover on the back of the handle, remove the receiver from the heat press, the big heat press, and place that into the back of the handle on the mini press. Hold that button in for 3 seconds, and then press the circle button on the front of the controller. Hold that down for 3 seconds as well, and it will pair with the mini press now. Now that we've unboxed, assembled, and learned how to connect our controller to both the heat press and the mini press, let's do some projects. I just wanted to take a moment to show you the size difference between the Cricut mini press and the new xTool mini press. You can use the mini press by just turning it on like I said before. And when it's on with 1 light lit, it's on low. Press the power button again. 2 lights lit is medium. Press the power button again. 3 lights is high. But to get a more precise temperature, you're going to need to use the controller. It's pretty easy to operate. The power button on-off switch is here in the back. It's got a USB port for charging, and it includes a charging cable. And you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit with the switch of a button. Then on the front, we'll go ahead and power it on. And on the front, you have a battery indicator, you have a Bluetooth connector, and you have your temperature and your time. You can press this button here, and it shows an A. There's a presets already programmed into it. B, another set of presets, C, and D. So there's 4 levels of presets already programmed into the controller. If you don't want to use the presets, you simply use your dial to go up and down in temperature, and then use the other knob to control how many seconds you want your item to be pressed. And then when you're ready to go, press this button to start the countdown on the clock. So I'm going to go ahead and make a sublimation keychain with this design here. And I'm going to turn on my mini press in the front by just clicking the power button, and it's already got the transceiver in the back, so it'll talk to the controller. And I'm going to turn the controller on in the back and then set it to 385 for 60 seconds, and then hit this button when I'm ready to actually start. So we'll wait for it to heat up and then press our design. All right, the controller beeped at me, letting me know that it's at the right temperature. I've got my sublimation design and my keychain I'm going to sublimate on. So I'm going to put this on without any heat resistant tape. I'm just going to aim it. And then I've got it on a piece of parchment paper to protect my mat. And I'm going to cover that. Actually, go back. So I'm going to put my keychain down first, and then my design on top of that. Cover it. Put the heat press on and start the timer. I did decide to switch from a circle keychain to a square keychain. I thought it would be better for this design. I am going to add some pressure because it is a sublimation design and it does need a little bit more pressure. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see how this turns out. The controller beeps at me to let me know it's done. And let's take a look at our design. There you have it. That looks great. It turned out really good. All right, we're going to do a project next on the big heat press. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the transceiver out of the mini press and put it in the back of the 10 by 12 heat press. And grab my controller, turn it on, press the Bluetooth connector button for 3 seconds, and then go ahead and press the circle button on the controller for 3 seconds. And they're Bluetooth connected now. This time I'm going to use the 10 by 12 smart heat press, and I'm going to use some of the HTV provided by xTool to make a wine bag. So I'm going to go ahead and set my controller to 320 for 40 seconds. We'll wait for that to cool down and then we'll press our design. All right, so the controller is set to 320 and I've moved it to 30 seconds and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and place my design on this is a wine bag, and I'm going to adjust it just a little bit over, and then I'm put a piece of parchment paper down, and then I'm going to heat it up. All right, the controller beeps, so I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I'm going to let this cool down for just a second before I remove it and press my next layer. Come to find out, the piece of material I pulled out of the xTool pile that they provided was puff vinyl, and I pressed it way too long, totally ruined my project, so I started over. Frustrating. So now that our design is all cool, we'll go ahead and lift this up. And that looks pretty good. So I've gone ahead and turned the heat press, the smart heat press, and the controller off, and I've unplugged the heat press as well, and I'm going to slide it into the platform. And then I'll plug it back in the back. And secure the cord. And then I'll reach back in the back and turn the heat press back on. You know it's on because there's a light on the top. I'm going to turn the controller back on, and I'm going to set my temperature to 385 for 60 seconds. And then when that heats up, we'll do a sublimation design on a bag. So the heat press is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and swing it around. You can see when I try to put the mat on that the platen is touching the mat here. So I'm going to go ahead and lower pressure, which is raising that platen higher. This is the way the machine came for me. So I'm going to go ahead and raise that up. Put this on here. I'll do a little bit more before I take my design, which is this, on this little tote. Put that in place with a little tape. So I'm going to go ahead and put my design in like so. and cover it with parchment paper, and then swing this back. It's a little tricky there because of the tie on the top. And then lower it, and I'm going to go ahead and increase that pressure. Ooh, pretty. It worked perfectly. After using this for a week or so, I have mixed feelings, and here are my thoughts. I like the controller, which works with both the mini press and the larger heat press, and being able to dial in the exact temperature on the mini press is something I don't believe any other maker of mini presses does. Now, they could have provided a longer charging cable. It's pretty short, but the good news is the controller keeps it charged for quite a while. I appreciate the hands-free functionality of the stand and being able to swing the plate out of the way so you can lay your material down easily. The swing arm design is convenient, but you'll need some space to maneuver it. This is where maybe a clamshell design works better if you're limited on space. The mat that comes with the kit is much firmer than others, which is really nice, but because it doesn't secure to the stand, it shifts around a lot when you're using it. I found that super frustrating. I did appreciate that they included a package of assorted materials, but they could have labeled what was provided. I accidentally used puff heat transfer vinyl instead of regular HTV on one of my test projects, and it was ruined because I pressed it too long thinking it was regular HTV. Not cool. Overall, it's an interesting heat press that offers flexibility. For me, I would probably leave the large heat press in the stand and use it that way. I'll link everything I used in this video in the comments below to make it easy for you to purchase or learn more. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you didn't hit that subscribe button and notification bell, do that now. Happy crafting!